Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going back to ARach-2 for another clear. Now people know that this Clash of Wills has been pretty buggy. For some people the boss is healing, for other people it's not. Well, Gumi put out news, and during maintenance they decided to change the boss. So here is the news issue. Because the boss is healing for some people and not healing for others, they have decided to change the boss to where it's guaranteed to never heal for anybody. So the boss was intended to heal, but the bug was that for some people it wasn't healing. So now for everyone, the fight is a whole lot easier because it won't heal at all anymore. If it wasn't healing for you already, no change. If it was healing, now it's not going to. So we're going to be going back and we're going to be doing an updated clear. I've had time to, think about the boss and optimize the clear, make some changes. So let's turn on all modifiers. And for this one, we are going to be using 2B. We're not going to use A2. We're not going to use Lilith, etc. But this is going to be the core of the team. This would be a very, very simple, perfect score. We can kill the boss easily in phase 2, etc. And then I'll be going back over the weekend with some changes. I'll drop 2B, I'll swap some units around, do some other clears, etc. But for now, this is going to be the clear we do. Let's get in here and give it a go, and then I'll explain stuff as we go. So the one major change I made is we are not covering at all. You see Runda here on the party, but Runda on turn 1 is going to get rid of his cover. We're never going to cover in this clear. I actually find it to be a lot easier doing it this way. So Runda on turn 1 is going to finger snap and then target himself, and he's going to finger snap his auto cover away because he does start the fight covering. Now he's no longer covering. Let's go ahead and use Sylvie to put up mitigations after Runda dispels himself. We're going to Petals, Vines, and Burgeoning Defense. Also, Runda is not even provoking. Runda is literally here for one reason and one reason only, and that's his mitigation. Sylvie is going to be our actual tank and provoker. We're going to go ahead and now use Chizuru to Strong Samurai, Staunch Samurai, and we're going to do Focused Body. This is for the 85 physical mitigation on turn 1. 2B in the shift form is just going to use the killer buffs that fill morale gauge. Kaito is going to do deep and destabilizing. And Tsukiko in the shift form is going to Omamori and double solar flare to unlock her Magnus. Okay, so turn 1, the boss has no accuracy, so we're going to evade everything and mirage the... Actually, this turn has no AoE. So just single target stuff. We're evading, provoking with Sylvie. The fixed damage can't be evaded, so don't worry about that. And then she's going to counter a little bit with Blizzard Orb to heal the party slightly, etc. Okay, on turn 2, we're going to go back to the base form with Tsukiko. And we're going to do Prayer of Purification, Consecration Light, and Mandala Light. We're going to have Chizuru just do... Whoops, not that. Don't do that. Eastern and then double Breezy. We're going to have Sylvie triple this turn. We're going to do Compassionate. We're going to do Offense. And we're going to just do Petals for morale. Kaito will do... On this turn, Kaito is going to do Crashing Waves to get rid of the shield. Then we're going to do, got my little list here, Deep and Destabilizing. Nothing real special here. And then Runda is going to triple Bolting. And we're going to do double Killers on 2B and then Avoid. Okay, a little bit of damage on the boss, not much. We're just setting up for the moment, getting the morale gauge, etc. Okay, so this turn, there's going to be some AoE physical. We are going to mirage that with the Avoid from 2B. And then all the single target, again, goes to Sylvie. Yeah, I find it a lot easier to just mirage the AoE and don't cover. Never cover, and the survival is super easy if you just don't cover, because all the AoE can be miraged. That said, you do need a lot of mirage to do it, and we do have a lot on this party. Okay, so on turn 3, we're going to have Sylvie Compassionate, and then just fill morale again. So Compassionate, Vines, and Petals. We do need all that. Chizuru is once again going to just Eastern and double Breezy. We're just building morale gauge. 2B is going to triple Killer here. Kaito is going to go to the base form, and we're going to Mirage again with Receding. That's going to Mirage and then double Tranquil. It's also a machine mitigation. We're going to just triple Purification with Tsukiko, and we're going to SLB with Runda. Alright. So turn 3 is a no AoE this turn. The reason we did Mirage with Kaito is for next turn. The Mirage will still be up for next turn. Okay. Alright, so on turn 4, we're going to go back to the shift form, and as the first action, we're going to use Kaito. Now, we're going to use Kaito's Magnus to get rid of the boss's stat buff this turn. These stat buffs right here, we're going to get rid of them and do some damage to get ready for the next burst. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Unpredictable with Kaito to get rid of that. Then we're going to do Downpour for the killer, and we're going to do Deadly for the 90 break. Okay, and now Runda is going to triple Bolting Strike. We're going to have Tsukiko Magic Boost to get ready for the big burst. We're going to have the shifted LB of 2B to get her modifier boost. We're going to go to the shift form with Chizuru, and we're going to do Dedicated. This is a morale gain. Dedicated slash, and we're going to go to the shift form of Sylvie and triple Clever. That's going to refill some LB gauge here. Okay, we can go ahead and chain all these guys up. It'll deal a little bit of damage on the boss, but this is primarily still set up. But that way, in case you don't do, you only do like, let's say 2.6, the boss is hurt some, so you're guaranteed to push that threshold on the turn. Now remember, turn 4 is usually a really painful turn. Doing it this way, not really. Not really. It's kind of whatever. You know, it's a little painful on Sylvie. She's not technically a tank, but she tanks totally fine with this. Okay, so turn 5, we're gonna burst on turn 6. We're still setting up. Turn 6 burst is a little bit easier for phase 2. So Runda is going to triple Bolting Strike. We're not really worried about chaining on this turn. Tsukiko is going to Magic Boost. Kaito is going to this turn refresh the debuffs with Deadly, Natural, and Deep. Sylvie is going to do Defense. Whoops. Defense for more Mirage. We're going to defense, and we're going to double Caring for a little bit of healing, but we don't technically need it. Chizuru can do Dedicated again to fill morale, and then we're going to go to the base form with 2B, and we're going to do True Charge, Magnus, and Pod. Okay, so we're going to be bursting for real on turn 6. And then turn 5, the boss imbues herself with light, does some AoE, we Mirage it, then it attacks on Sylvie, very low damage, not worried about it. Super easy. Okay, it is time for the burst. Now on the burst turn, the first action we're going to do is Sylvie is going to use her shifted LB for the mod buff. We're going to use Tsukiko to shift and do her Magnus. We're going to go to the base form of Kaito and do his LB, which is a perfect Dispel triple Bolting Strike. Chizuru is going to do her shifted LB, and 2B is going to do her base form LB. We're going to wait on Runda. So we're going to click Kaito first. That's going to dispel the barrier, and then we're going to click Tsukiko to chain with Kaito. So click them both together, but Kaito first. Wait just a moment, and then send our tag chaining Chizuru and 2B. That's going to be our damage cap. So go ahead and send these. Wait just a moment, then send 2B and then Chizuru. And that should be the damage cap needed. Perfect. Now, as the last action, we're going to use the SLB of Runda. We need to refill 2B's LB. So here we go. And that should be a perfect score, as well as the 100 count chain score, and the boss should not heal. So we did damage 2.8, and then here's the boss, not going to heal, no healing whatsoever. The 1 billion is the barrier. It's not actually a heal. So there it is. That is the change where they nerfed it to where it never heals for anyone anymore. It makes it really easy in Phase 2. Okay, now we're in Phase 2. So the first thing we're going to do is Kaito is going to shift here. We're going to do Deadly, Natural, and Crashing Waves again to have that barrier auto-removed every turn for Phase 2. Okay, Tsukiko, back to the base form, where we're going to do Omamori. We're going to do Consecration Light, and we're going to do Prayer of Protection. Runda is going to triple bolting, and we're going to chain that with, we're going to shift to B, and we're going to do the killers again. So we're going to do triple killer buffs. Chizuru is going to do, in the base form at this point, we're going to do Focus Strength for the 5-stack Mirage. We're going to do Eastern, and we're going to do Staunch. We're going to click her first, and Sylvie's going to go to the base form and put up those buffs again. So Compassionate, Petals, and Vines. Petals, Vines, and Compassionate. Okay, and we're going to chain Runda in 2B to deal a little bit of bonus damage in Phase 2. Now that our morale gauge is filled up, it should be nice damage. There it is. Okay. Turn 7, usually very painful, but when you mirage all the AoEs and you're not covering them, turn 7's super easy. Super easy. Yeah. I really prefer the no tank or the no cover setup. Okay, we're going to get ready for bursting again next turn. So Chizuru in the base form, and there's the barrier auto removed. Chizuru is going to Tyvus' Spirit. We're going to have 2B do her shifted LB. Run is going to triple bolting to match up with 2B. Kaito is going to, as the first action, downpour and then just double deep. Tsukiko is going to shift here and do triple solar. And we're going to go ahead and chain these up. We're not going to use Sylvie yet, so wait on Sylvie. So go ahead and chain these guys, get a little bit of bonus damage here. Okay, now Sylvie is going to shift, and we're going to do triple clever to again refill 2B. So triple clever. After all that. There's no AoE on turn 8, so we don't need Mirage. The damage over time is a little painful, but that's pretty typical here. Gravity damage, you don't got to worry about that. And then some single target stuff on our Sylvie. Okay, so we're probably going to kill the boss on turn 9, but my turn chart is built for you to go to turn 10 if need be. Okay, so on turn 9, we're going to use Runda as the first action, and he's going to SLB to refill 2B. Now 2B goes to the base form and does her tag LB. We're going to shifted LB Sylvie first. We can use the morale bar to heal, for morale gauge, etc. We're like way over the cap on morale at this point. We're going to go ahead and do the shifted LB of you. Tsukiko will triple solar, and Kaito will triple deep. Okay, so we're going to chain these guys up, then click 2B and then Chizuru, and that's going to be the end of the boss. And then 2B comes in and finishes it off. Boom. There you go. Perfect score. So if you don't kill the boss on that turn, I've got my turn chart set up. I will say if you don't kill... We're actually going to change something on the turn chart. 1 second. Just in case you don't kill, you actually would need Mirage. Oh, Anyway, you're always going to kill with this team on that turn, so we're not going to worry about that. Anyway, here's the damage breakdown. 2B obviously carries it pretty hard, and there it is. Let me show you the gear. I'm trying to think, because on turn 9, if you didn't kill it on turn 9, there would be a double AoE. You would need Mirage for that. Who would be able to do Mirage on this setup? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're a little short on that. Let's go ahead and like I can't imagine this party not killing it on turn 9. because we so overkilled it on turn 9. Anyway, here is the team. I'll show you the gear and all. So Sylvie is our passive provoker, full evasion, because the first 2 turns the boss has no accuracy. Full evasion. We're also 190 lightning resist. That way we're slightly vulnerable to the lightning damage, so we counter it up. That's optional. If you go over it, it's okay. And then 310 light resist, same thing, so that when we do the 80 light resist from Sylvie, we're still slightly vulnerable. So here's the gear we're using. Blizzard Orbs, we counter, get some free healing in, more morale, etc. There's the setup, power cut card. Shift gear, exact same thing, and there it is. Chizuru in the base form, we're just using some autofill morale gear. Other than that, Typhus is Spirit. Yeah, like slots are empty because who cares, whatever. Shift form is LB damage versus humans and machines. There we go, pretty classic here. Maxed LB, maxed human, maxed machine. 2B in both forms are geared identical. There it is, both forms. We are not using any gear from A2, including the TMR, and we're not using the Dark Vision's Katana. So if those of you that don't have it, there you go. If you do have Dark Vision's Katana or A2's Trust Mastery, put those on 2B, her damage will go way up. But you don't need it, as I just saw. Only EX2, and we're using a banner card, whatever. And she's obviously maxed on everything, and she is really good damage for this fight. Kaito is mostly naked, because whatever, who cares? Dual wielding a morale card, and we are using a light weapon. There we go, shift form identical. You can gear him for damage if you want to, but whatever. And yeah, he does Kaito things. Tsukiko in the base form is again just kind of whatever. Magic boost, some HP, because just whatever. And then shift form is, evocation versus everything, because the evocation, she's maxed on everything. And then Ronda is not tanking in this one. He's not provoking, he's not covering, he never takes a hit. He is literally here for one reason and one reason only. He does mitigation. That is it. That being said, if you don't need his mitigation, drop him and bring someone else. It's totally fine. So he's dual wielding a morale card, and he's mostly naked because he is just here for his LB. Also, he's on an Esper for Finger Snap, so he can dispel himself on turn 1. Odin has Finger Snap learned. Okay, so there's the clear. Let me know in the comments if you're using this party and you're not killing it by turn 9, because you would have to adjust and get... you can use Sylvie to defense on turn 8. No, that wouldn't work either because it's on cooldown. Yeah, I would have to adjust the turn chart to if you didn't kill it on turn 9, but I'm pretty sure you would. Anyway, I'll be doing more videos this weekend. Now that the boss is nerfed, it makes it a lot easier to do more budget runs. So okay, I will see you guys for more in a bit. See you then.